the Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA.
For years, basketball fans have followed one of the sport's most captivating rivalries, Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers. Both entered the spotlight as elite high school prospects before choosing very different college paths. Clark built her legacy at Iowa, while Bueckers became the face of UConn. Throughout their NCAA battles, Clark consistently delivered on the biggest stage, including memorable tournament victories that fueled debates about who was the better player. Despite criticism from some analysts who questioned whether her style would translate to the WNBA, Clark never stopped proving people wrong. Their first professional meeting between the Indiana Fever and the Dallas Wings was more than just another regular season game. It became the next chapter of a rivalry that had already captivated basketball fans for years. And by the end of the night, Caitlin Clark had accomplished something no player in WNBA history had ever achieved twice. If you're excited to relive this historic performance, comment CC Record Breaker, and let's get started.
Hey, Caitlin. You've known Paige since middle school, AAU. You guys were on the U19 World Cup team together. Is there anything that maybe stood out then about her, whether it be on or off the court, that maybe still reigns true today?
I mean, I feel like she's played in the same manner that she, has since she was, whether we were on the U16 team together, U19 team together, whether it was me watching her in AAU, she's always just been smooth. She takes what the game gives her. Her midi has always been as nice as it's been this year. She's just she just plays way older than she is. She's confident, she's smooth, she just does everything at a high level, can score from all three levels. And that's how she's always played, and that's obviously translated really well.
The rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers has been building since their teenage years. Both were considered generational talents, yet their playing styles couldn't have been more different. Clark became known for her explosive scoring, deep shooting range, and elite passing ability, while Bueckers earned praise for her efficiency, polished fundamentals, and smooth all-around game. Their college careers only intensified the comparisons. Bueckers joined the powerhouse UConn program, while Clark chose Iowa and transformed the Hawkeyes into a national contender. Their NCAA tournament matchups became must-watch events, with Clark delivering dominant performances, including a memorable 41-point masterpiece that eliminated UConn from championship contention. As Clark won 2 of their 3 college meetings, fans and analysts embraced one of basketball's greatest modern rivalries.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
Even with all of her collegiate success, questions continue to surround Clark's transition to the professional game. Some respected basketball voices believed Paige Bueckers' traditional style would adapt more smoothly to the WNBA, while Clark's aggressive shot selection and fast-paced approach faced constant scrutiny. Those opinions only increased the anticipation surrounding their first meeting as professionals. With national television coverage and enormous fan interest, the matchup carried far more significance than a typical regular season contest. Clark also entered the game under additional pressure after Indiana had struggled through several disappointing performances, making this showdown an important opportunity to silence critics once again.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
The Fever arrived at this matchup searching for answers after suffering frustrating losses that raised concerns about the team's direction. Behind the scenes, another storyline was developing as Caitlin Clark favored a fast-paced transition offense while head coach Stephanie White leaned toward a slower, more controlled system. That difference in philosophy had become increasingly noticeable throughout the season and even led to visible moments of frustration during previous games. With Clark returning from injury and the team's rotations still changing, Indiana struggled to establish consistent chemistry. This game against Dallas presented the perfect opportunity to reset the season. More importantly, It gave Clark the chance to demonstrate that her up-tempo style could thrive at the professional level against one of her biggest rivals.
Our player development coach yesterday, and he was like, just sent me a few things of like even Steph going through a slump. I think he was like 27 for his last 70 or something like that. Like the best in the world go through it, and I think that's like where you can find your confidence. And I think the thing I always fall back on is like, I know how hard I've worked, so this isn't something that's going to last, and the best players in the world go through this. So I feel like I'm getting good shots, and I think that's why it's frustrating, because those are the shots that I make.
As the highly anticipated matchup against Dallas approached, all eyes were on Indiana to see how the team would respond. The biggest question wasn't just whether the Fever could win, it was whether Caitlin Clark would finally be given the freedom to play at the fast pace that had made her one of the most exciting players in basketball. The rivalry with Paige Bueckers added even more pressure, making this game feel much bigger than a regular season contest. Fans wanted to know if Clark could once again rise to the occasion against one of her biggest competitors.
I feel like this stretch, this is a big game for us. I think we've struggled in the fact that we're able to play one good game, and then we play a bad game, then we play a good game, then we play a bad game. So I think for us is like, we got to find a way to be able to stack really good games together, and then we go on the road, and we're on a back-to-back, which is just a challenge in itself. No matter who you're playing, we play Connecticut, then we play New York. So I think Steph's message was, yes, All-Stars coming up, that break's coming up, but our focus is on these 3 games that we have left. So in that sense, I do think it's critical that our focus just remains on the game in front of us, and I feel like that's what everybody in the locker room is doing.
From the opening minutes, it became clear that something had changed. Stephanie White allowed Clark to take control of the offense and dictate the tempo of the game. Instead of slowing the pace, Indiana embraced quick ball movement and aggressive transition play. Clark immediately began pushing the ball up the floor, creating easy opportunities before Dallas had time to organize its defense. It was the style of basketball she had been advocating for all season, and the results were impossible to ignore.
There is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the 3rd situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime.
The turning point arrived in the second quarter when Indiana completely overwhelmed Dallas. Clark's vision and decision-making sparked one fast break after another as she delivered pinpoint passes all over the court. The Fever exploded offensively, scoring 36 points in the quarter while outscoring the Wings by more than 20 points. Every possession flowed effortlessly, and the offense looked more dangerous than it had at any point during the season. It wasn't simply an impressive run, it was a complete offensive masterclass.
It can be frustrating when your shot isn't going in the way that you want it to, but then I look at the box and it's like, I'm really 4 shots away from having a really good game, a really good shooting game. So that's where you find your confidence, and I know those are shots that I can make, and I'm never going to stop shooting. So, until I break out of it, I'm just going to keep launching, and that's all I know, and I'm still confident in everything that I can do.
Clark's teammates thrived because of the pace she established. Kelsey Mitchell caught fire offensively, Natasha Howard consistently finished around the basket, and Aaliyah Boston dominated the paint with confidence. Clark's passing placed each teammate in perfect scoring position, allowing the Fever to play with outstanding rhythm and chemistry. The ball movement was crisp, the spacing was excellent, and every player looked comfortable in their role. For the first time in weeks, Indiana looked like a complete team, proving how effective Clark's preferred style could be when everyone bought into the system.
Lee Aru the other night had a season-high 18 points. Here's Boston turning the corner. Dishing to Hull. Extra feed Clark. A deep 3. You bet! And he actually brought up stats from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well. Right on the money to Mitchell.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown, Fever.
Indiana's offensive explosion wasn't just impressive, it was historic. The Fever piled up 64 points in the first half, setting a new franchise record and recording the highest scoring first half by any WNBA team that season. Their ball movement was nearly flawless, with crisp passing and constant player movement creating open looks on almost every possession. Clark wasn't chasing points. She was controlling every aspect of the offense and making everyone around her more effective.
Here's Clark. being hawked by Isaiah James. Clark sidestepping three is good. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, baiting away and dropping it in. Beautiful. Here's Clark off the screen, through the lane, feeds Howard. Another assist for Clark. That's 13 as Howard is up to 18 points.
The Fever's chemistry reached another level as they continued to move the ball with confidence. Clark finished with 13 assists, tying together an offense that seemed impossible to stop. Every pass had purpose, whether it led to an easy layup, an open three-pointer, or a fast break finish. Sophie Cunningham also provided a valuable spark off the bench, knocking down important shots and giving Indiana another reliable scoring option. Dallas struggled to keep up as the Fever continued to attack from every angle.
And he actually brought up stat from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well, right on the money to Mitchell. A tenacious start from Caitlin Clark. Here's Agumbawale off on a three. Long rebound. Mitchell, you're not going to catch her. Kelsey Mitchell in for two. They elevate each other because of how hard they compete. Nice look. Aaliyah Boston with a gorgeous dime to Kelsey Mitchell.
The second quarter performance became one of the most dominant stretches in franchise history. Indiana shot at an incredible percentage from the field while putting together a massive scoring run that completely changed the game. Dallas had no answer for the Fever's speed, ball movement, or relentless transition attack. The Wings looked overwhelmed as Clark dictated the pace from possession to possession. More importantly, the game proved that Indiana's offense could reach another level when Clark was trusted to play her natural style. It wasn't just a convincing victory, it was clear evidence that her vision for the team's offense could succeed at the highest level.
Mitchell bounces. Boston, one more time. This time Mitchell delivering. And Boston up to 13 points. Indiana shooting 66%.
While the Fever were building a commanding lead, Caitlin Clark was quietly putting together another historic performance. She contributed in every area of the game, scoring efficiently while creating easy opportunities for her teammates. On the defensive end, she became just as impactful by reading passing lanes, anticipating opponents' decisions, and forcing costly turnovers. As the game progressed, it became clear that Clark wasn't simply leading her team to victory. She was putting together a stat line that would once again earn a place in the WNBA record books.
Cunningham the rebound. Cunningham swiftly up the floor, finds Howard for two. Sophie Cunningham making a huge impact off the bench, and Dallas will take a timeout.
In this lineup, Natasha Howard is the quickest post player on.
By the final buzzer, Caitlin Clark had delivered yet another performance that highlighted why she is considered one of the league's brightest stars. She finished with an outstanding all-around stat line, combining elite scoring, playmaking, rebounding, and defensive effort. More importantly, she controlled the game's rhythm from start to finish, making the right decision on nearly every possession. It wasn't just another impressive outing, it was a complete demonstration of leadership and basketball intelligence.
Good dub. 2 in a row. 2 more to All-Star. Let's go. Woo!
W. Oh, Fever Dubs, you already know what's coming. Bow, bow, bow! On to the next.
Hell yeah! Can you use that one? Let's go, baby. Give your energy to Christmas.
W. Now we gotta go get another one.
The victory also sent a strong message about Indiana's future. When the Fever play with pace, move the ball quickly, and allow Clark to run the offense, they become one of the most dangerous teams in the league. Every player benefits from her court vision, and the entire offense becomes more efficient. The chemistry displayed against Dallas showed exactly what this team is capable of when everyone embraces an aggressive, fast-moving style of basketball.
Inbounds. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, fading away, and dropping it in. Beautiful mid-range fadeaway from Caitlin Clark.
After the game, many analysts pointed to this performance as a potential turning point for the Fever. Instead of relying on slow half-court possessions, Indiana attacked with confidence, trusted Clark's decision-making, and consistently created high-quality scoring opportunities. The result was one of the team's most complete victories of the season. If they continue to play with this level of pace and unselfishness, the Fever could quickly become a serious contender in the race for the playoffs.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown, Fever.
Sophie Cunningham runs the route and puts her hand up in the air, gives Caitlin Clark the target, barely over the fingertips of Hines Allen. Beautiful, beautiful pass, catch, in stride, finish. Beautiful basketball.
For Caitlin Clark, this game was about far more than statistics or another highlight reel. It reinforced the idea that her ability to control tempo, create for teammates, and make winning plays changes everything for Indiana. Every great pass, every deep shot, and every smart decision reminded fans why she has become one of basketball's biggest attractions. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more Caitlin Clark updates, WNBA news, and the biggest basketball moments. Stay tuned for the next story.
I feel like this was one of their best games as far as playing Fever basketball, which is a fast-paced style of basketball. They played Fever basketball for, I would say, about 75 to 80% of the game. And we have obviously seen this style of basketball, the style of basketball that we all know and love from the Indiana Fever, but we have only really seen it in short spurts. There have been so many games and so many times throughout this season where it feels like the Fever system is a slow-down basketball type of system. Their offense wasn't running smoothly, but in this game, they were playing quick. They were moving the ball around. They had so many points off of the fast break.
Caitlin Clark's latest performance felt like the perfect confirmation of everything fans had expected from the moment she entered the WNBA. She has firmly established herself among the league's elite while continuing to set records that few players could ever imagine. Indiana's dominant victory over Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings showcased exactly how dangerous the Fever can become when Clark is allowed to play at her natural pace. Franchise milestones were broken, personal achievements continued to grow, and most importantly, the team's chemistry finally came together once Stephanie White fully trusted Clark to lead the offense. With the second half of the season approaching and this exciting rivalry only beginning, basketball fans have plenty to look forward to. Tough road matchups against Connecticut and New York are next, giving the Fever another opportunity to prove this performance was only the beginning. If you're excited to see what Caitlin Clark and the Fever accomplish next, leave CC Record Breaker in the comments, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest WNBA news, highlights, and breaking basketball stories.